afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get ready for our 11th race of the season for the second season of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. We are getting set to go racing at the Monster Mile. This is Dover International Raceway, and this is a track that can eat you up both mentally and physically. We've also had some very sunny weather conditions, which means grip is going to be at an all-time low. And this track, while it's not considered a short track, I kind of consider it a short track personally. And that means that more than likely, this could lead to some tempers flaring depending on what takes place during the course of today's event. 40 laps of racing on tap for you all today. And on the pole is going to be William Brock in the 62. Now this is very interesting because William Brock is 42nd in the point standings. Is it possible that today, with a pole position, good starting spot, good track position, William Brock can maybe wear the Cinderella slipper, pick up his first win of the season, even though he finds himself in the cellar of the point standings? Alongside of him is Paul Minnick. Paul Minnick comes into this race 26th in the point standings, so another driver that could use a good run. And then a couple of drivers that had some good runs last week at Orlando. J Zoerlein rolling off third, and Ace Garcia rolling off in fourth. After their good finishes last week, Ace Garcia moved up to 19th in points, and Zoerlein jumped up to 21st in points, 6 and 10 spots gained, respectively, after last week's Super Speedway race. Excuse me, as I had a little bit of a burp there. So we'll have to see what happens in this one as far as who's going to be able to tame the monster and maybe pick up the victory here today. Let's go down trackside for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command to fire them up as we'll get ready to turn them loose. 3 stages during the course of this race as per usual. Those 3 stages today, very interesting. We're going to be having it being the completion of lap 12 is the end of stage 1. Completion of lap 24 is the end of stage 2. And then the checkered flag at lap 40 is the end of stage number 3, the final stage. So it'll be 12, 12, and 16, I believe, for the stages here today. Points coming into this race. Jesse Turner still the points leader, but boy, things have gone south for that 39 team in a hurry. He had a huge points lead about 3 weeks ago. Now it's down to 45 points he holds over Benny Watson. Elijah Gilbert, after his second win of the season last week at Orlando, is now third in the points. And then it's James Shelley and Noah Pontzer jumped 11 spots in the standings last week up to 5th. M McIntire all of a sudden has made an appearance up in the top 10. He's 6th in points with Tony Green, Daniel Voyles, Carson Gum, and Christian Merrick Jr., your top 10 coming into this race. Green flag's out. We're underway here at Dover. William Brock gets the good jump. Inside line will be the preferred line here today. They're already 3 wide back there. That's Benny Watson put up on the high line. Middle line, I think that was Nicholas Romero in the 5, and I think it was Christian Merrick Jr. down on the extreme bottom. You gotta be careful off of 4. That's the trouble spot here, especially when you're 3 wide. Whoa! Matthew Daleo nearly getting into it with somebody there. I think that might have been with M McIntire. Keep it together, at least for the moment. Eli Bright now jumps to 2nd. J Gilbert to 3rd. Boy, what a change up there in the podium spots all of a sudden. Jordan Lopez now going for 4th. I think that's Daniel Voyles following in his tire tracks, moving up to 5th place. Jump back here to this battle that's going on. This is 3 wide back here. Michael Haas put in the middle. J Qualls on the high side. M McIntire on the bottom, and they're going to... Oh, no. No, 4 wide is a terrible idea. Please don't. Well, they settle it back out to 3 wide, which isn't much of an improvement. And now Michael Haas unceremoniously getting shuffled way up to the high side. There was 0 grip up there. Somehow, I don't even understand how, we are still under green. We're racing really hard back here. There's Benny Watson down on the bottom of the racetrack of J Qualls. Oh, trouble in the back! Jesse Turner just turned Baranauskas, and they're still wrecking a secondary back here. Kyle Thomas is involved. Cole Deaver is in it. There's Turner. There's Baranauskas. Cole might have been involved along with Jacob Rose and Quentin Moore. Not sure. Eli Bright took the race lead from William Brock, and he will lead us under our first caution of the day. And fortunately for us, everybody that was involved in that wreck going into one were able to drive away from the incident before the leaders caught up. Otherwise, that could have been really bad. Eli Bright, former winner this season, won back at, I believe it was Texas, if memory serves me correctly, and more than likely doesn't. Nope, I was right, it wasn't Texas. He's out in front now, got the lead from William Brock, and he'll lead us under our first caution. Let's take a look at what happened. We saw a good chunk of the start of that live, but we'll go back now for an in-depth replay look. Well, like I said, Jesse Turner just does not seem to be able to catch a break the last few weeks. This time, he's going to get off the corner. He's going to get under Baranauskas. I think Baranauskas actually was a little bit sideways before this started. And he gets turned down into the wall. Further back, that's Nick Johnson turning Ryan Brommer in the 88 down across the nose of Carson Gum. And then I think Jacob Rose got a shot from Elijah Gilbert, put him into the wall, turned him down into Nick Johnson. And I'm not certain what happened to the 48. 48 might have gotten clipped by the 44. That might have been what sent him around. A little bit of damage as well for the 87 of Julio Cesar. Gilbert. Oh, he gets a little piece there with the right front. There's Cole Deaver. There's James Shelley back behind this. I didn't realize that the 16 was involved. Tony Green does a nice job of going to the inside to avoid. And Quentin Moore and Seth Cole come to a stop, and I think they're going to get through without very little contact. For the most part, the biggest hit was taken by Baranauskas, who pounded that inside wall, maybe Jesse Turner as well. Everybody else really just spun around and were sliding into each other, but I don't really think anybody got a whole heck of a lot of damage. I mean, maybe the question mark would be Nick Johnson in the 44, but aside from that, everybody got away from that wreck relatively unscathed, but it looked like we had like 4 different wrecks take place within 100 feet. And as a result, maybe about 8, 9, 10 drivers involved in this one, but like I said, not many drivers with a whole heck of a lot of damage as a result. And we haven't gotten the one to go signal yet, but I think we're going to get it this time by when the Chevy Corvette pace car crosses the start-finish line. So Eli Bright will restart as the leader, William Brock in second. As you can see, now we will be 1 to green. John Gilbert third, Ace Garcia fourth, Jordan Lopez now up to fifth. There's a driver that needs a good run. It's been almost kind of the Jesse Turner few weeks for Lopez as well. He's down to 13th in points. And then Christian Merrick Jr., Daniel Voyles, James Richardson, Nicholas Romero, and Colby Jackson. That is your top 10. After that incident, we do have one driver out of the race, and that's the driver that I said may have sustained the most damage out of all that after pounding the inside retaining wall. That is R Brommer, so tough break there for that 2 team, especially after the good run they had last week at Orlando. It jumped 6 spots in the standings up to 28th in points. It was looking like they were finally getting something going, getting the wheels on the comeback train, and wheels appear to have fallen off again there as the Monster Mile has bitten into the hopes of that team out of Richard Childress Racing. So Eli Bright was able to get around William Brock for the race lead. Now it's going to be a single file restart, and there's no lap machines to the inside, which is great. So we'll see if we have a battle for the lead here in just a moment. Green flag back out on lap number 10. Eli Bright got a good start. William Brock kind of caught napping, and he's going to pay for it. John Gilbert peeking to the inside, going into 3. Can't make the move, though. And that's going to cost him. Looked like Gilbert tried to drive it in deep, and then his car slid up in the middle of the corner, and Ace Garcia was able to fill the hole to the inside, move the 9 car to the 3rd position. Battling going back there. Jordan Lopez now getting by John Gilbert, and Christian Merrick Jr. right there as well, waiting to make the move if Lopez can complete the pass, and not able to do it just yet. Meanwhile, up front, battle is on for second place. Ace Garcia to the bottom and will take the position away from William Brock. That 9 car is strong today. Garcia's passed 2 cars so far in the past 2 laps, and now setting his sights on Eli Bright for the race lead. Garcia this season, 3 top 10s, all 3 of those top 10s, top 5 finishes, so Garcia trying to pick up yet another top 5 finish, this time a trip to victory lane, and that car looks a lot faster than Eli Bright's, or at least it's getting around the racetrack a lot quicker than Eli Bright's is. Drives it deep into 1, let's see if Garcia can follow it up with a good run out of 2. Oh yeah, that 9 car is wound up and ready to go. Second fastest lap. Eli Bright has the fastest lap at 21.025, and about 3/100 slower is Ace Garcia. And look who just jumped to the top. Christian Merrick Jr. now with the fastest lap at 20.8. But the battle for the lead is on, and it's going to be over going into 3. Garcia to the point now. Eli Bright falls back to second. Battle is on for third. Driver that just turned the quickest lap of this race, Christian Merrick Jr., and the caution's out. Caution is out. Please tell me they have cleared. They have. Seth Cole and Jacob Rose appear to be the issue here. Boy, Seth Cole not enjoying Dover. He finished dead last in the Hershey's Cup Series race here yesterday, well, the non-charter race, and gets involved in an incident here in this one. So Ace Garcia will lead us under this yellow flag, and I thought maybe it looked like they were going to indicate they were coming to pit road, but that's not the case. So let's take a look back at a replay of a post of caution for the second time today as we are getting close to the halfway point. Well, get used to this. It's a running theme here at Dover. Turn 4, the trouble spot. Seth Cole going to get to the inside of Jacob Rose. And his car's going to push up. Gets into the left rear of that NOS Toyota Camry. And down hard into the wall. Wow! That is a violent hit. Jacob Rose's car goes up into the air after that shot into the inside safer barrier. Holy cow. You don't see them hit that violently, especially since we don't get up to excruciating speeds here at Dover, but that was one of maybe the hardest shots I've seen a car take into the inside wall. Let's get another angle. Watch this. My goodness. I think 3 tires left the racing surface. Let's see as he goes down, hits the wall right there. Well, maybe both right sides still remained in contact with the track, but both left sides were definitely up into the air. That is a massive, massive hit for Jacob Rose, and he was running at the back of the pack, so he was already having a struggling day, and doesn't look like it's going to get much better. That may take him out of this race. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. Seth Cole may also be out of this race. Both cars taking pretty big hits, but boy, getting some air there was Jacob Rose. Well, after 2 cautions in yesterday's Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race, we ended up having roughly between 10 to 12 cars out of the race. We are working our second caution of the day here in the Pizza Deck Series, and only 2 drivers have officially retired from this event. A Baranauskas after our first caution, and Jacob Rose now after our second yellow. So, out of the 42 cars that started this race, 40 are still running and are still on the lead lap. No lap down machines. Ace Garcia shows the way and will restart us on lap 20 at the halfway point. Eli Bright, William Brock, Christian Merrick Jr., and J Gilbert will be the top 5. James Richardson, Colby Jackson, Daniel Voyles, M McIntire, and Nicholas Romero will be our top 10. Garcia's had the strongest car, but Christian Merrick Jr. was starting to find something in the closest stages of that last run. We'll see what happens here as the green flag's back out. You saw right there, Christian Merrick Jr. driving it down low, was trying to get a run on William Brock in case Brock spun the tires, but Brock didn't. Merrick Jr., former winner this season at Talladega, would love to pick up his second win of the season. Eli Bright up here, also a former winner this year at Texas. Both would love to be able to join J Gilbert and Joshua Osborne as a two-time winner this year, and more than likely get themselves a guaranteed spot in this season's Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship. And Merrick Jr. at 20 car is coming. Got by William Brock for third, and now is hounding Eli Bright for second. So if he can clear it into second, it'll be interesting to see then if the 20 can reel in the 9. Trying the bottom, trying to get to the left rear, and I think he's there. Side by side into 3 perhaps? No, Eli Bright able to get enough of a momentum shoot into turn 3 to, at least for the moment, block Christian Merrick Jr. They're 4 wide back there and they're wrecking. M McIntire is up and over. Charlie Buxton was in it, Voyles is in it, Osborne, Stuart Gratton, and McIntire continues to flip. And now Stuart Gratton is flipped over. Oh my goodness, and M McIntire's car is teleported to pit road. Seth Cole's involved, Nick Johnson. Oh no, and the leaders are going to come into this. No! Oh, Merrick Jr. just hit somebody. Oh, I don't know how much damage he might have gotten, but Merrick Jr., who was running in second, just ran into someone. He might have gotten Carson Gum. And I don't know how much damage that caused on the 20 car. Not coming to pit road. I don't even think pit road's open at this point. Oh boy, but a big wreck and another wild ride. We saw Jacob Rose get air on the last caution. Well, M McIntire, I think, just beat him in the violent department as far as his hit goes. Caution is out for the 3rd time today. A big wreck taking place in this one. Let's take a look at what happened. And I just barely saw this in the camera shot in the background. We were watching that battle up front. They were 4 wide with Buxton, McIntire, Colby Jackson, and John Gilbert. You knew something was going to happen here. It looks like teammates got together. Looks like M McIntire hooked Colby Jackson. Daniel Voyles gets spun around, and look at this. M McIntire hits the wall, flips over onto his roof, and unfortunately for him, it's not over. He's going to slide back up the racetrack right in front of Stuart Gratton. Oh, there's where Buxton and Voyles get into it. There's Osborne involved. Stuart Gratton's going to get a piece of this. The 3 car, though, going to go back on its wheels, then back over. Oh, boy, and then I think that was P.J. Williams back there with Charlie Buxton. James Shelley gets involved as the 3 car continues to flip and barrel roll through turn 1. Almost flips Stuart Gratton over. And it's just a stack up. Everybody just trying to get to the bottom for real estate. And I don't know who exactly gets a lot of damage out of this as everyone's just kind of stopped. Oh, there's some trouble back there. 44 got hit by somebody. Nick Johnson, I think he might have gotten clobbered by, was it Seth Cole? Oh, he's flipping. He's going to run into the back of Noah Pontzer, it looks like. Pontzer into the back of Carson Gum. Carson Gum into the back of Romero. And Nick Johnson's car just popped up in the air. I don't think he hit anybody, but then when he was in the air and he gets hit by Seth Cole, that's what sends him into the barrel roll there on the apron. You can see further up there, M McIntire's coming down the banking, still on his roof. Now, here's what the issue was with the leaders. There's Ace Garcia, there's Christian Merrick Jr. Now they are coming out of turn number 4. The incident has not cleared yet. And I think it was either Carson Gum or Jonathan Zoerlein that I think Christian Merrick Jr. makes contact with. And you could hear the contact during live action as well with the left front. Let's watch this going through. Garcia gets by, and there you see Carson Gum comes up the track, and right there, you could see there was contact between the 4 and the 20. Now, I don't see any visible damage, and the car did not erupt into smoke, which normally happens with that kind of contact. So, Christian Merrick Jr. might be okay. He might be good to go. Oh, and I think Colby Jackson got hit by somebody, or hit someone, and he was running in 6th. Oh, he ran to the back of Noah Pontzer. He was able to save the car after he got hooked by teammate M McIntire, and then, that's one of the problems of Dover. You could be running so well, and then a wreck happens up ahead, you don't slow up in time, and there goes your top 10 finish. And Colby Jackson had such a great run last week at Orlando. It was looking like he was going to have a great run here a week later at Dover. And just like that, runs into the back of a car that was leaving the scene of an accident in turn 1. That's like his day is over. Well, remember how I was bragging how we had 2 cautions and only 2 cars out of the race? Well, so much for me and my big mouth. We got a lot of drivers out of the race now after that one. Colby Jackson, M McIntire, Daniel Voyles, Charlie Buxton, Stuart Gratton, along with Joseph Romero, Carson Gum, and Nick Johnson out of the race, joining Jacob Rose and A Baranauskas behind the wall. We have 3 cars that are off the lead lap: Noah Pontzer, Jesse Turner, and Jonathan Zoerlein. So Ace Garcia gets ready to get us back under green. It'll be interesting to see if that 20 car can get up to speed, or if there may be some internal damage after the contact sustained with Carson Gum under that yellow flag. Eli Bright lines up 3rd. William Brock still in the top 5 there in 4th. And 5th is James Richardson. Then it's Nicholas Romero, J Gilbert, Jordan Lopes. Wade Brummer is now up here in the 9th position. And Joshua Osborne did get a piece of that wreck, but he still will restart in the top 10. So we'll see what he is as far as up to speed as well. Green flag back out. We're back underway. Looks like that 20 car is still up to speed. Garcia will clear the lap traffic. Merrick Jr. trying to clear Zoerlein. Hasn't done it yet, and that's allowing Garcia to scamper away, at least for the moment. That 20 car isn't up to speed. No, he is. He's cleared now. Now Merrick Jr. will set his sights on trying to reel in Garcia. Eli Bright has cleared Zoerlein, and now, ironically enough, the car that Zoerlein drove 1 year ago in this series is trying to get by him. William Brock, the driver now. He'll make a pass to the inside, and here comes Zoerlein's teammate James Richardson in the 5th position. Oh boy, Christian Merrick Jr. has reeled in Ace Garcia, the 2 strongest cars of the day, going to duke it out, closing in on 10 laps to go. If these cars battle, that could bring Eli Bright, William Brock, James Richardson right into the picture as well. Just hoping we don't have a caution. I'd love to see these guys race it out here to the checkers. It's 10 laps to go at this point. Merrick Jr. trying to run a slightly lower line, maybe try and get a nose to the inside of the left rear, either out of turns 2 or turn 4. But right there, you see Ace Garcia is able to get a better exit, and Merrick Jr., I don't know, maybe Merrick Jr. Christian should try thinking about trying to make the move into the corner rather than out of the corner. He seems to be better in. Garcia seems to be better off the corners. Sooner or later, either Merrick's going to have to drive it in or Garcia's going to have to make a mistake, because right now, Garcia's doing exactly what he needs to do to keep Merrick Jr. at bay. Slipped up a little bit there. Slipped up a little, and the caution's out. Caution is out. And Merrick Jr. couldn't make the move. So the yellow flag is out. Once again, we're going to have a shootout. Another incident, this time into 1, and I don't even want to look. Please tell me they've cleared the disaster area, and they have. Joshua Osborne, 2-time winner, involved P Minnick as well, who started on the outside of the front row for this race. Caution out, and we're going to be setting ourselves up for a shootout here at the end. We will get back green, fortunately, but I don't know how many laps there's going to be left. Tough break there for Joshua Osborne in the 70. We mentioned he restarted in the 10th position. 2-time winner is not going to finish this one, though. 15th in the points is where he came into this race. Cautions waves. Let's go back, take a look at a replay, and then get ourselves set up for what's going to be a doozy of a finish here at Dover. Well, this one not as bad out of 4 as some of these others have been. 3 wide, this time Alexander Rowe, P Minnick, and Kyle Thomas. and they just start bouncing off of each other. That one car is like a pinball, and turns Alexander Rowe sideways. Paul Minnick's going to try and avoid. Goes up to the high side, but with the sweeping banking of these turns, can't do it. My goodness, K Lynch. What an avoidance there by the 15. Elijah Gilbert, close call as well. They all drift up to the high side there in one, which is at least a good thing. And then when they come back down, you'd think it's going to be just a two-car incident, but unfortunately for Joshua Osborne, that's not going to be the case right here. Oh! Minnick turns right down in front, right at the moment that Osborne is trying to get by. Osborne slides it up the racetrack and hard into the outside wall as well. Osborne was just trying to ride it out, it looked like. It looked like his car was off the pace. He had dropped way back after restarting in 10th, and we know he had gotten a piece of the action in our third wreck, I should say, under our third caution, so he was just trying to ride it out and get many points as possible, but looks like now his day will end behind the wall. Same for Paul Minnick, and we'll have to see about the 93 of Alexander Rowe. But let's see how many laps we're going to have left to finish this thing out here at Dover. I can't wait. Well, last time by, it was 5 laps to go. Lights are still on top of the pace car. This time by, when we hit the stripe, it'll be 4 laps to go. If the lights go out, then we'll be having 3 laps remaining in this race to finish it out, and that will be the case. So we will go back green with 3 laps to go. Joshua Osborne and Paul Minnick will not be taking this green flag. They're out of the race, so we have 30 cars still running, 27 of them on the lead lap. There'll be single file restart, so the lap machines will not play a factor in the outcome of this one. Ace Garcia, the leader. Second is Christian Merrick Jr., Eli Bright third, William Brock in fourth, and James Richardson fifth. I think it's going to come down between those 5, because then you've got the lap machines of Pontzer and Zoerlein between 5th place and 6th place Nicholas Romero. Jordan Lopes is 7th. 8th place is Pichu London. Matthew Daleo 9th. And how about Chris Dollerton? Dollerton starting to put some good finish together. Had a good pit strategy run last week at Orlando. And now up in the top 10 again in the closing stages of this one. So who is it going to be? Christian Merrick Jr. put the bumper to Ace Garcia a couple of times but couldn't make the move. He's got 3 laps to try and get something done. Garcia going to try and do all the mirror driving he can to pick up his first win of the season. Merrick Jr. and Eli Bright for their second wins, and the green flag is out. And Christian Merrick Jr. drove it. He kind of turned left. He had to back off to make sure he didn't pass the 9 car on the low side, or that would have been a penalty. So that kind of stacked him up from second on back, and Christian Merrick Jr. may pay the price for that. No, he's not going to. He's going to hang on to that second spot. But it stacked him up from second place on back. 2 laps to go, and Merrick Jr. is a man on a mission. Whoa, they almost wrecked back there. Lopes and Dollerton, they saved it. We're still green. Let's hope we can make it to the checkered flag. We just got to get around here to the start-finish line without a caution coming out, and we will race back to the checkers no matter what. Christian Merrick Jr. all over the back bumper of Ace Garcia again. It's deja vu from the last run. White flag displayed. We're going to race back to the checkered flag no matter whether the caution comes out or not. Always looking. Merrick Jr.'s looking. He's trying to get to the bottom. Is he alongside? He is. Will he drive it here into 3? Oh, he can't do it. Garcia got a better straightaway speed. Through 3 and 4, Ace Garcia is going to hang on, and he will win here today at Dover. First career win for the Ace Garcia machine, and I believe he's the only Dodge in this field, and he will be the only Dodge to find victory lane here this season. What a run for Ace Garcia. And what a well-earned victory. I mean, Christian Merrick Jr. was all over his back bumper. He nearly had him in the turn 2 area, but it looked like with Ace Garcia taking that slightly higher exit off the corner, he was able to get back to the throttle sooner, which meant he had better straightaway speed. Christian Merrick Jr. maybe a little bit tighter coming off the corner and couldn't get up to enough of a straightaway speed to make a move down into 3. What a couple of weeks it's been for that 9 team. Ace Garcia. Top 10 run last week, top 5 run actually last week at Orlando, and now a victory here today at one of the toughest tracks on the circuit. Christian Merrick Jr. will have to settle for second, so Ace Garcia denies both Merrick Jr. and Eli Bright their second trip to victory lane by taking his first. William Brock, that's a strong run for William Brock. I mean, I know it's not a win, but when you come in dead last in the point stand, start on the pole, stay in the top 5 all day, and get a 4th place finish, that is a solid run for a struggling team. James Richardson will finish out the day in 5th. Then Nicholas Romero, Wade Brummer, Jordan Lopes, Chris Dollerton, and Pichu London your top 10. Last week's winner, Elijah Gilbert, where the heck did he come from? He's going to finish 11th. John Gilbert will finish 12th. Michael Haas, we saw him get unceremoniously moved way up to the high line in the early stages of this race. He fought back for 13th. K Lynch will get 14th, and 15th place will be Matthew Daleo. The rest of your top 10, Cole Deaver, James Shelley, good run for him as he got involved in a couple of incidents today. Julio Cesar, Kyle Thomas, and Tony Green were your top 20. Look on down here, and some of the drivers that came in running well in the points, struggling finishes here today. Jesse Turner, the points leader, 30th. Second in the points, Benny Watson, and 23rd. Noah Pontzer, who came in 5th in the points, he was 28th today. So, number of drivers that were running well in the standings not getting really good finishes. And then the drivers out of the race, Paul Minnick, Joshua Osborne, Colby Jackson, Matt McIntire, who came into this race 6th in the point standings. Daniel Voyles, who came in 8th in the points. Charlie Buxton, Stuart Gratton, Joseph Romero, Carson Gum, who was 9th in the points coming into this one. Nick Johnson, Jacob Rose, and A Baranauskas all out of the race. So, no doubt that Jesse Turner will probably still be the points leader, but that points lead is going to be cut into again. I think this time the driver that he's going to have to look out for next week at Richmond might be that Elijah Gilbert machine. I don't know how much of a gap Gilbert has been able to close up. I could do a little bit of math in my head. Well, actually, no, I can't do a little bit of math in my head because I'd have to wager in stage points and whatnot, and I don't know if either one of those drivers did get any stage points during the course of this one. So, regardless, it's going to be a lot closer next week for the points lead than it has been the last couple of weeks, that's for sure, as we're going to be finishing out the first half of the regular season next week at Richmond. Ace Garcia picks up win number 1 of his Pizza Hut X Series career here today at Dover. We're going to cap off what's been an exciting race weekend here with tomorrow's Hershey's Cup Series main event race. Hope you'll tune in for that. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full finish results, and here are your point standings heading next week as we will go to Richmond. And then, after that, we'll have All-Star Race Weekend, and then we'll set up for our chase towards the chase for the championship. I'm Seth Cole signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our Hershey's Cup Series main event race here at the Monster Mile as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.